Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing fantastic, fellas. Recording from Tulum, walking a little outside again. It's too much noise in the center, I can't be there. But I wanted to share my thoughts about something I was reflecting on during my trip now. And actually that is how traveling solo, being a solo traveler, had cured my shyness in my life. And a lot of insecurities that I used to have when I was young. To rewind the tape, like 11, 12 years ago, I did my first solo trip to United States. I did a trip a year ago before that, but I went with some friends first, and then I took a little side tour, went away with myself to Malaysia and Singapore, so that was like 5 nights total. So you can say that was my first time alone, but my first real trip was to America in 2013, I think it was. I did a sports trip there. I wanted to see football, ice hockey and basketball there. I have always been curious about that, and I've been following NHL for a long time, so that was a huge passion in my life. I wanted to experience it live, and so I went there. Young kid, very insecure, very shy. Didn't have much going for me, obviously. I was working and doing all this kind of stuff. But what traveling really helped me, and what that first trip really taught me, is that a lot of things that I've been hearing throughout my life has been more or less bullshit. They have talked from non-experience. They have talked from what they heard other people say to them. That you cannot go away, you can't go away alone because it's dangerous and you will get killed and all this kind of stuff. You've probably heard of it, a lot of you guys who have been doing something similar. So one thing that I learned a lot from going away myself is that for me it has been eye-opener in so many ways. Not only like the perspectives you will gain out of it, like how you view things, not only like when it comes to the world in general, like places, poverty, luxury stuff, like wealthy places, relationships, people you meet, and all this kind of stuff, and things and experiences that will happen along the way. So I have so much to thank for that, because I don't think maybe I would get into a lot of these things that I do now, like semen retention, fasting, eating mainly fruits. I have no idea, because I was such a different person back then. And if I wouldn't go away on that trip, I might have ended up doing something else. And of course, maybe that would have led me to something else, obviously. But when I did that first trip, it really forced me to be uncomfortable. And like I've talked about before on this channel, and you already know that to be able to grow as a person, to become better, to grow, to take the next step into the personal evolution, we have to be in uncomfortable situations. It's inevitable. We can't do anything about it. We can't like make us believe and talk into ourselves that staying in the comfort zone all the time, where it's almost like a room full of pillows, it can't happen anything, it's gonna make you to become a better person. It can't, unfortunately. I'm sorry to tell you that. Then of course sometimes we can let us be in those situations, obviously, for some time, but not all the time. So what traveling alone really taught me was that I had to go out there and really talk to new people, to talk to strangers, both men and women. I formed new relationships that I still have today, actually. Contact with a girl from New York that I met on that trip, and we have good relationships still. And so what really happened was that I stayed at hostels, I stayed at hotels, stayed at those kind of places. And at one point on the trip, I wanted to talk to people, because especially when you're young, just get away and be only by yourself completely without speaking. You're not gonna do that, which means that I don't have anyone else to talk to. And back then, you didn't really have any like internet in that sense. It was, of course, we had internet, but I mean, it was a lot more expensive if you're gonna use the regular network. So I had to get out there in the unknown and talk to people, and it taught me a lot of things. Taught me a lot of things about myself as well, and you become a lot better communicator also. Back then, in the beginning, I didn't communicate very good. I remember also I had a lot of problems with English. I had a lot of problems to articulate myself, my words in the right way and in the way I wanted to. I had an even hard time. I could understand when people talked, but when they talked really fast, I couldn't really join in the conversation. I had a lot of troubles with that. But the more you did it, the more travels, the more trips you went to, the better you got. And up to this point now, I feel like I can join every conversation. It's deep conversation about basically anything. So I don't know, there's so many things that you will learn. Like I mentioned in one of my last videos there that semen retention is probably the biggest rites of passage. But I would say that traveling solo is gonna precede that personal evolution a lot as well. It's gonna make you grow up a lot faster. I don't know how it is where you live, but in Sweden we have always had this, you should join the military when you're young, and I don't know what you say in English, but the time before you join the military. like a test kind of thing. We don't have it anymore, basically. I didn't do it. I got paper back home that I shouldn't do it because I had allergies and stuff, and I didn't want to do it. But what I missed out on is probably what that could be a very good rites of passage, because you will learn a lot of stuff and you will learn discipline and all this kind of stuff. So that's why I think traveling alone will get into a very good, it can be a good replacement in that sense. It will be a good guidance in your life, in your own life. If you're like me, insecure, you don't really know what to do with your life, I promise you, book a ticket somewhere and get away and see for yourself that a lot of things you've been taught have been wrong, have been lies. Because we're gonna understand that at the end of the day, it really comes down to experience. We need to have experience on our own to understand things so that we can move it from a belief to a truth. There are some things on my channel where I talk about things that I have not experienced yet. I talk about them because I am so certain that they are true, because I've formed my own conclusion and belief around it, because I talked to a lot of people, I listened to them, I read books and stuff, and I got to this conclusion, I formed my own belief. But like I said, some of the things I haven't experienced, which means that it's a belief for me, and you as a person who listens to this should never take it for granted. You should make your own conclusion about certain things. That's so important. You should not take my word for it. Then I have a lot of things that I've been experiencing that I know is a fact, it's a truth. But like I said, we always have to understand that we need to experience things. That's what we're here to do. To sit back home all the time, year by year, day by day, and don't do anything, that's not gonna make much good in our lives. We have to understand that. So travel for me was really an eye-opener. It was really something that it opened so many new doors for me that I didn't know before, that I didn't have the courage and guts to do. But after that, I got into so many other things. Well, first of all, it made me get into the travel path, like to do more trips. What you also can understand is when you book a first trip and you get away, maybe it can be very uncomfortable for you, get scared, and that can like have a negative impact, and then you won't do it again. So it's important that you understand that there's a lot of things that will happen during the trip that you will not like and enjoy. When I did this trip now, almost 6 weeks soon in Mexico here, and I just feel like I can keep going. I don't want to go home, to be honest. I don't know why, but I have to. But the thing is, like, I knew when I planned this trip that it's gonna be days where I don't like this. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it myself. When I got to Tulum, for example, I got screwed over by a cab driver, dropped me out of the wrong place. The maps on the telephone didn't work, so I got misled 3 times to the Airbnb I was gonna stay at. It was crazy hot, sun, middle of the day. I was fasting as well. I got really pissed, and I noticed I have a lot of sides that I need to work on. I wasn't this pleasant guy anymore to hang around with, and actually a little more rude. And I noticed I have rude thoughts in my head, like, if you know what I mean, like it's something I have to work on. It was a stressful environment for me. So, but it's that situations we will learn from and grow. And the most important thing in there is to be aware of it, to introspect, and to really zoom out and see, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. I need to understand that the next time it happens, because it's gonna happen. It might happen again on this trip. I don't know. So there's a lot of things that will boil up, that will come up to the surface that you have to deal with. That's gonna be very good lessons for you to learn from and gain from. Yeah, I can talk about this for hours. Traveling solo. I can recommend traveling with a friend as well. I said it before, not more than that. I think it's complicated, especially when you're older. It's too much willpower, too many people have too many desires. They have to be, to have taken care of on the days. If you're traveling with this like-minded person that think and acts like you do, that might work. It can be a lot of fun, because it's a lot of fun to share things with people as well, and to also have good conversations. I can feel sometimes when I'm alone now that I miss the social thing. It's a very important thing in my life, and but that's the thing. If I want that to happen, I have to force myself to be social. I met some people during the day when I had when I've been at coffee shops and working, and I've been eating. I've been talking to people. They have been approaching me. I've been approaching them, and that way I can form good conversations. But that's the thing. I have to make it happen, and I think we need to understand that, especially as men. Men are supposed to make things happen. We can't just sit around our asses and think that things are gonna pop on our knees. It's not gonna happen. You have to make things happen. You have to be a doer, action taker. That's what you're here for. And it goes with the women as well. You can't just sit around and be spoiled. With spoiled Barbie girl. You have to get up there and make things happen. So I think traveling will definitely teach you many things regarding that. Like I said, not only where you're gonna stay, planning your day, where you wanna go, all this kind of stuff. It's gonna happen, a lot of stuff. yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. Got my message out. Hope I inspired you to take the next step. I hope you didn't get too annoyed about the noises around here. I just can't seem to find a good place here. I might record down at the beach one day, find a good spot there, but I want to be outside as much as possible. If you have recognized, experienced something similar, let me know in the comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. If there's something else you want me to bring up, maybe it's something about traveling you want me to talk about. Also hit the like button, share it to someone you know who might need to hear this. Subscribe of course to the Path of the Divine for more videos. And I want to wish you a great evening, day. So talk soon again guys. See you. Bye.